All right, Johnny D from the Climb Show Music Business Podcast here on American Songwriter Magazine's podcast network. You can find that at americansongwriter.com/podcast. We are live from the Nashville Nights International Songwriters Festival here in Odense, Denmark. September 19th today, right? Last day of the festival.
Yeah.
My guest today is HunterGirl. Hey, HunterGirl.
Hey, guys.
Now, so let's talk about, I want to talk about you and how you got here, first of all, and then I want to talk about, Dwinell tells me that you got a song. She's like, she's got a song.
Oh, the song from yesterday.
Song.
Yes,
yeah. So she was like, you got to talk about that, you know. So,
oh, awesome.
So let's start with, I know you said you're from Monteagle, and like, how long have you been in Nashville, and how did you get here to Denmark? Like, how did that happen from Monteagle to Denmark? Like,
Yeah, okay.
Explain.
So, wow, long story. Grew up on the mountain near Monteagle, Tennessee. I started singing when I was about 3 years old. And in my grandfather's church, he's a preacher. And then I grew up 5 minutes from my grandparents, too. So all they listened to was country music. And Dolly Parton, Waylon Jennings, Johnny Cash.
Sure.
Yeah, so I was surrounded by it. And I was like, okay, I know I want to do music. I was 3 years old, running around the house singing. And Mom could not get me to shut up. And from there, you know, I started playing guitar when I was about, I guess, 14 or 15. Started writing songs when I was 9.
Okay.
And ended up traveling when I was about 15 or 16. My parents would take me everywhere and drop me off and stay in the audience, you know, and hang out and be like, oh my gosh, my 15-year-old's in a bar. This is awesome. And then Mom would sit outside and look and be like, I just hope she doesn't get attacked or kidnapped.
So you start that going down to Monteagle, and then you turn 18, you move up to Nashville. Is that right? When did you move to Nashville?
Yeah, right when I turned 18, moved to Nashville, Tennessee. I've been here for about, I guess, 5 years.
Okay.
5.5 maybe.
Okay. And now how did you get to know Blue? How did you get into this circle?
So when I got here, I started going to school at MTSU in Murfreesboro, and, you know, I was in Nashville every day playing.
Were you taking songwriting classes there?
A few. It was more music business classes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to ask if you had Odie Blackman.
Yes, I did.
You did?
Yeah.
He's a friend of mine.
Oh,
good friend of
that's
mine.
awesome. Yeah, I love
He used
Odie.
to sleep on my couch when he first came to
No
Nashville.
way.
Yes, he did.
I'm going to have to text him.
Yep. I'll tell you.
He could be like,
I'll take a
hello.
picture. Look who I found in
Look who I
Denmark.
did.
Yeah. He's a hoot, man. Yeah, I love Odie. All right, go on. Sorry.
No, you're good. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Small world. Yeah, no, Odie's hilarious. And so it's kind of wild as how everything, I feel like music's like these little moments that you don't know that are going to matter at that time that, you know, when you look down the road, you're like, if I hadn't done that one thing or went to that one place at that 1 second, like everything would have been changed.
Yep, everything would have been changed.
And that stresses me out. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I need to go this or I need to do this. And it's making those decisions, but you can't live that way. And
that's right.
so I met him at Freakshow, the one that Terri Joe Box puts on, that writers round.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the local. And I'd seen him there, you know.
Now, did you play Freakshow?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
So how did you get on that? Like, you had to know Terri Joe, right?
Yeah, I was riding with a lot of the same people that, you know, were on the rounds.
Okay.
And I'd come out and hang out. I think that's one of the most important things whenever you're trying to play somewhere is being a supporter first before you ask for something.
Sure.
You know, everybody wants to bring somebody up. You know, I feel like the exchange is, oh, I'm going to help this way and I want to be here for you. And I think people definitely reciprocate that kind of energy and those kind of people. And so, you know, just supporting somebody for so long, and then you finally get that, hey, do you want to play? And you're just like, yes. You know,
yes, I would.
I want to, because so many amazing songwriters and artists have come up through Freakshow, and so
That's right.
It was really, really cool to get to be a part of that, and then meeting Blue and other songwriters and getting in on rights and stuff.
So for anybody from American Songwriter, like listening that isn't familiar with the Freakshow in Nashville, it's a very high-end curated writer's night by Terri Joe Box. She's been doing it for, I think, like 9 or 10 years
That's
now.
what I'm thinking now.
Something like that. And I mean, this is where Ashley McBride came up through that. You know, a lot of great writers have come up through that. Dan Smalley. You know, so it's the place to be on Wednesday nights at the local.
True.
And now it's expanded into Friday nights as well.
Yeah.
So, really good connections there. You know, it's gonna be meeting good writers and industry people are going to be there, and you never know what's going on. So you get asked to be put on that. Then Blue's there that night.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what happens next?
Blue kind of came up to me. He's like, "Oh, you did such a great job," and he's like, "We should write some time." And then you know how that goes. Schedules get crazy, and you never know. And so one of my co-writers ended up saying, "Hey, do you want to write with me and Blue Foley?" And it was like not long after that, and I was like, "Yes." And so we ended up starting writing together, and Blue would come to shows, and I would go out and see Freakshow and other venues that we'd play. And he's always been a really huge supporter and of original music, songwriting, and he's definitely a cheerleader for everybody. I can say that for sure. The biggest
cheerleader, that's a fact. And so then that led to your invitation to come to the Nashville Nights, International Songwriters Festival here in Odense, Denmark.
Yes, yeah. That probably happened about, I guess, 3 years ago, maybe, that I started writing with Blue. And then it was funny. I hadn't, because of the quarantine and COVID, I hadn't really been able to see a lot of people.
Sure.
And so I posted on Facebook. I started getting to play again, and ended up playing a writers festival in Kentucky and the Sandy Lee Song Fest. And I posted a picture with some songwriters, and Blue's like, "Oh my gosh, I know him." And he was like, "Would you like to come to Denmark?" And like commented that on my Facebook. And I'm like, that was the best invitation ever. And I literally like, "Are you serious? Like, what's going on?"
Nice.
Like, we are definitely 21st century right now, getting invitations on Facebook.
Right, that's right.
And I was dying laughing. I was like, "Is this for real, or are you messing with me?"
So was that for this one or
this one?
Yeah. Okay, awesome. So tell me about the song. What's the song called?
So yesterday I played at Storms, and oh my gosh, I love Janelle. Janelle's amazing, and she was out there. And
I love her.
Yeah, she's so sweet. And we were out there, and it was really cool because a lot of the writers from this trip were there, and I was like, okay, this is crazy, And so I ended up playing this song that I wrote, I guess it was during the quarantine phase. And growing up with my grandparents and my mom and dad and everybody, and we were always close. My family's super, super close. And so whenever the quarantine happened, we were super far apart, obviously, and my Nana and Pa just wanted to see people so bad. And you know how dangerous that was, and we're like, "Don't come down here. Like, we love you guys. Like, we can call you, we can FaceTime you." Yeah. And so we see them driving down the driveway. We're like, this is not good. And so they take their chairs and put them in the yard, and they're just looking at us. They're like, "We just want to know there's people." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh." And you can't say anything. You're just like, "Okay." And so we set our chairs all the way back towards the garage. Well, I go inside for maybe 5 minutes, and I come back out, and my pa has grabbed a bucket out of the garage and is giving my Nana a pedicure, and is doing her nails for her. And I was like, I want to love like that. They love each other so much, and I was like, it's just unbelievable. They've been together over 50 years.
Oh, wow.
Nana got married when she was 14. It's just like mind-blowing, and I'm 23 years old. I'm like, oh my God. And I had that idea for a song, and I was just love like that kind of idea. And it's called One Day, and it's basically the hook of the song is, if you live to touch 100 years and your time on earth is done, then I want to live to be 100 minus 1 day.
There you go.
Yeah, because I never want to live without you.
Oh, I love it. That's beautiful. I got to hear that song. I haven't heard that yet.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm dying to hear that. So what's next for you when you go back to the States?
Definitely gonna take a rest day. It's been crazy out here. It's been a lot of fun though.
Yeah. Exhausting.
I know. I bet you're exhausted. You're like, "Here's my 40 millionth interview."
We've been doing a lot of them.
We've been busy. But when I go back home, definitely gonna be back in the studio. Gonna record one day. Because my grandparents' anniversary is coming up, and so I'm surprising them. They haven't heard the song yet.
Okay.
So
I love that. That's gonna.
I know.
Tear up, man.
Nana's birthday. It was yesterday when I was singing that song, so it was just like, I know. And then one of the writers here, Eric Pasley, he's one I really look up to, and he was there. And I come off stage, and he was like, "That was a great song," and everything in my body just went.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do it.
You got the nod from Eric Pasley.
I was like, okay.
That's a good nod.
I know. I called my mom, and I was like, "This is the coolest thing ever."
I love that.
So, yeah, it was really, really cool. So when I get back home recording, writing, it's honestly just looking at the calendar because I live on a week-to-week basis right now, just traveling and everything. It's kind of like, if I can get through this week, then I can get to the next one.
Love it. All right. Well, thank you very much, HunterGirl. Appreciate
thank
that.
you.
This is Johnny D for the Climb Show Music Business Podcast on American Songwriter Magazine's podcast network. That's americansongwriter.com/podcast. And we are broadcasting here live from the Nashville Nights International Songwriters Festival in Odense, Denmark. And once again, HunterGirl, thank you so much for taking the time.
Oh,
All right,
thank
it's a pleasure
you.
to get to know you.
Always.
Take care.